Do you want to know a simple formula to make your content addictive, memorable, and attention-grabbing, even to the point where people are dying to read your content, watch your videos, and buy your products? Want to know what that formula is and how to use it? Stay tuned and find out.
Being an entrepreneur sounds like, yes, another new client. I did it. But it can also sound like, I am really not understanding this technology, and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Am I even cut out for this? That's why I started the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, to help infopreneurs, coaches, and course creators who want to build a business online but are battling technology, overwhelm, procrastination, and even imposter syndrome. Think successfully, think differently, think bigger, and take action by learning tips from an array of business owners, all dropping knowledge on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
What is up? What is up? What the heck is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another dose of Zeigarnik Effect learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman. And as most of you know, I've been in the coaching, course creation, online space since the 90s. So yeah, got a little experience on my belt, yet here I am still learning. But the real question is, who are you? And to me, the answer to that question is infinitely more important because I believe you are a driven entrepreneur, perhaps an infopreneur that is here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart. Let's just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. Okay, so in this episode today, I'm going to show you a simple formula to making your content addictive, memorable, and attention-grabbing to the point where people are dying to read your content, listen to your podcast, watch your videos, and even buy your products. But first, let's find out what Zeigarnik is and what it can do for your bottom line, right? Here's the thing. The Zeigarnik Effect states something to the effect that people tend to remember unfinished tasks and incompleted tasks far better than they remember completed tasks. And let me give you an example. Imagine a waiter serving you. Most of the waiters out there are going to be far better at recalling orders that they have not yet delivered than the orders they've already fulfilled. Here's the thing. An order that's unfulfilled is unfinished, but an order as delivered is finished. Here's the thing. Your audience, they're no different. They crave the completed stories. They crave the resolved problems. They crave those answered questions and achieved goals. Now think about the movies and even some of the shows or soap operas. They do this to us all the time, right? At the end of the show, tune in tomorrow to find out if Jane's two-headed baby survives the diabolical Dr. Dan's nuclear attack. Oh, okay. So maybe it's an extreme example. I don't watch soap operas, but that's probably what they sound like. Okay. The news shows, they do this to us. Join us after the commercial break to discover which product in your bathroom cabinet is making you unlikable, ugly, and sterile. Yeah, they do this all the time. When they give you that little teaser, video games. I was a big video gamer for the longest time. Video games keep their players super addicted using this very technique. Your goal as an entrepreneur, a course creator, a marketer out there, your goal in using the Zeigarnik Effect is to open loops that your audience desperately wants you to close, right? Think of the Cliffhangers I previously mentioned, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Now, okay, Tracy, I get it. You've proven your point. How can I do this? Well, an example of how you could do this in social media is you can open loops between posts. You can do this by asking questions and then posting regular updates on a continuing story. Take your followers on a journey and so forth. In your content, you can let readers know that there's a big payoff coming soon. But first, you have to cover some important ground in order to get there, in order to take them there. In your emails. In your emails, you can create teasers at the end of each email that makes the reader look forward to the next email. For example, you could do something like, look for my email tomorrow where I'm going to show you how to feed 12 people with 1 chicken, 6 ketchup packets, and a blow dryer. I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek on purpose here, but I think you get what I'm meaning, what I'm driving at here. Let me give you the simple formula that I promised earlier. The simple formula that you can keep on your desktop, write in your notebook. You have a journal, right? We've talked about this before. Or put it on a sticky pad and or a sticky note and put it on your monitor. Okay, so here's the formula. It is, in a moment, I'm going to show you. Okay, those are the words, and then you're gonna insert something powerful, something strange, or something amazing. Okay, then you're gonna follow up by saying, but first, let me take a look at, or first, let's take a look at, and then you're gonna something needed to set up the powerful, amazing, or strange thing. It might sound a little confusing. Again, let me give it to you differently. In a moment, I'm gonna show you blank, but first, let's take a look at blank. And the first blank is something powerful, strange, or amazing. And the second blank is something you need to set up for the powerful, amazing, or strange thing. Let me give you an example, right? So maybe you can hear it in context. In a moment, I'm going to reveal my #1 secret to acquiring and retaining $1 million super affiliates. But first, let's talk about what a super affiliate can do for you. You feel me? You feel that open loop? You want to know that #1 secret now, don't you? Right? Here's another example. I'm about to show you the exact formula I use to earn no less than $3,000 per every email I write. But first, let's talk about how to build a $1 million mailing list. Yeah? You want to know all of that. All right? Here's example number 3 for you. As promised, I'm going to show you the 5 secrets to winning or placing in every single gardening contest you enter. But first, let me tell you the super embarrassing story about the first rose contest I entered. Yeah, we'll have those stories, right? You can set them up for it. Hey, here's the 5 secrets, but first, let me share with you. When you Zeigarnik your readers or your listeners or your viewers using this method, you'll find them far more happy to read all of your blog posts, all of your articles, listen to all of your podcasts, or listen to more of your podcasts, and watch the full video that you post out there. It makes for much better reading, for much better listening, and a far better viewing experience for them, so they're more likely to consume more of your content as well as pay more attention to you as well as your product offerings. Yeah. Now, let me give you a warning here. There are 2 pitfalls that I think you need to avoid. Well, I know you need to avoid when you use this method. Here's the first one. This is the first pitfall. Do not overuse this method. I have seen, and you probably have too, I have seen sales videos that use this method several times in the same video. This is just pissing your viewers off. This is just angering the watchers, and I almost guarantee you it's reducing their sales to next to nothing. That's because when you use the Zeigarnik method, occasionally you pique their interest, you raise their eyebrows, you perk up their ears. But if you use it over and over and over again, the people watching or reading or listening are going to become very wary if they're continually strung along for this seemingly never-ending marketing ride. Okay? Tip number 2, or what you want to avoid, avoidance number 2, don't let people down. Make sure you fulfill on the promise and even over-deliver it. Right? Give them more. I have seen sales videos that promise to reveal certain secret tip or information if the viewers keep watching to the end, and then they never reveal it. The prospect, you hate that, right? Yeah, I can feel your head nodding right now. I hate it. Prospects hate it, and we all should, because the marketer has failed to make good on their promise. The prospect is pissed off, they're angry for having their time wasted, and at the end of the day, nobody wins, all right? Now, so be sure you don't overuse it, number 1, and number 2, don't let them down. If you say you're going to reveal something, reveal it. Otherwise, don't say you're going to do it, right? Be a man or a woman of your word. Now, this technique does take a little practice to master. Are you going to get a feel for it? But let me tell you, it's worth it. There isn't a 7-figure marketer out there that I have seen who does not use this tip, this technique. And guess what? Now you can too. And if you would like one last example of the Zeigarnik Effect, I'd like you to go back and check out what I said right after my introduction of the podcast. Yeah? I Zeigarnicked you. And here you are about 10 minutes and 48 seconds into this podcast, and you're still listening, and I appreciate you. It wasn't any kind of schmarmy-marmy technique to get you this far into it. I delivered on the promise. I gave you the tip or technique to use to get your audience to listen to more of your content, consume more of your videos, and listen to more of the podcast. So the next time you're writing a blog post or creating a video or perhaps recording your podcast, use this. Give it a shot. Open up that loop at the beginning of the content, but be sure to close it halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, or all the way at the end, but be sure to close it. And again, don't overuse it, right? And remember to deliver on your original. You know, I don't even need to tell you that because you are a person of integrity if you're the kind of person that's listening to the show. All right, you get out there, you run your race, you get your results, and then come let me hear about them. I'm serious. That's why I give out my email address directly, tracy@darkhorseschooling.com. Tell me the tip or idea that you have come away with from this episode or any of the episodes, how you put it into action, and what results you got from it. Who knows, might even bring you on the show and let you share your genius, your product, your service with my audience. All right, with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this.
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.